What is the most special thing that somebody's ever done for you? Love to hear about it.
Yeah, well, for Zach, his college football teammate gave up something major. See, Zach was in college. It's super expensive. College is crazy expensive. And so he's doing a bunch of odd jobs, even giving plasma to make ends meet so he can stay in school. And when he walked on the football team, he's great at the football game, but there were no more scholarships available.
Oh, no.
And one of his teammates, Brian Dooley, I want to make sure I get his name right, gave up his own free ride so that Zach could go to school and wouldn't have to worry about paying the bills.
So he was able to accomplish transferring all of his scholarships?
Yes. So I guess he worked with the Eastern Michigan University head coach, Chris Creighton, and they were able to announce it and give him the honor of this full ride so he could stay on the football team and wouldn't have to give his plasma.
That is just so great. I had a trip of a lifetime last year to Paris. And that was gifted through a ministry that likes to invest in people that they feel and perceive have made some contribution into ministry. And I'm like, wow, you picked me? Number one, I don't deserve this, but I was allowed to go on that trip. And man, I tell you, we never would have been able to do this trip. But God provided that for us, and that was something that was really special. I'm going to guess Scott Watson. I'm going to think it's something about your grandma.
Yeah, you got it. When she passed away, I got her Bible, and this Bible had a green bound, so I remember the color of it. But I used to remember seeing her read it at home, take it to church with her, and so when she passed away, I got it, and I treasure that because she had little notes that she had written down, and there were even a couple of pieces of paper, like old bulletins and things tucked in the Bible from when I was like a baby back in the early 70s. So going way back, just finding that. And those little notes meant so much to me.
That's just amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
I really love that.
Totally. My husband's grandma, she just passed away a few weeks ago. But before she did, she gave my boys her cuckoo clock. And it hung on the wall at her house. And every hour, as they do, they're awful. They make so much noise, but my littles would run to it and be so excited for it. And so she gave it to my boys so we could hang it up on our wall so it could drive us cuckoo. But the boys still love it, and they're older now, and they still will run to it and be like, man, I miss great grandma.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
Those special things that somebody will do for you. Like, for instance, Scott's grandmother gave him her Bible, or it was given to you not too long ago, and you cherish this special thing that comes only from your grandma.
So special. She had passed away, and it was a Bible. It was a green Bible, so it really stood out to me. But she would read it, at home. She would take it to church with her all the time. So she spent so much time in the Word. And when I got it, I noticed as I was flipping through it, little notes that she had written, verses that she had highlighted and made special notes, and even a couple of old church bulletins in the back with some notes that she had written down on it. So it's really a special thing that I cherish a whole lot.
For Harlan, it's the gift of a cuckoo clock.
Yeah, drives us all a little cuckoo. But great grandma gave it to my boys, and it's super important to them. So we hang it on the wall, and it looks like a old cuckoo clock on the wall, which doesn't fit with any of my decor, but it's okay because of the memories she left with my kids. It makes all the difference.
Kylie is here at 800-447-7234. What is it for you, Kylie?
Of course, growing up, I had the Barbie dolls, me and my sister. But my aunt would make Barbie doll clothes for us.
That is
and
so
I have
awesome.
pictures of us sitting on our front steps up in Cleveland, Ohio, playing with the Barbie dolls dressed in the clothes my aunt made us.
And great for that memory to come back now because of this whole Barbie pink craze that's happening because of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Everybody, we got our Barbies back out. We're like, oh, remember when?
Oh, Harlan's playing with her Barbies.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
You ever lost something and then found it and thought, oh, it's life-changing?
Yeah, my keys.
Yeah, this isn't that.
Oh, okay.
This guy is doing yard work, right? And he's lived in the same house for forever, 45 years. doing yard work, goes out and finds this action figure that has been missing over 35 years.
What was it?
It was an original Star Wars action figure, Palpatine. Like
Oh,
the
for
Sith,
real?
like the bad guy.
Okay.
Why are you playing with a bad guy? I don't understand.
Well, there's the good guy and the bad guy. So when you play, you need both characters.
Do you?
You do, yes.
This is the difference between boys and girls.
Mm-hmm.
We just played with all the good characters and none of the bad characters.
You need all the stuff so that good can overcome evil.
Apparently.
Yeah.
But not, you don't need it that long because he left it in the bushes somewhere. So when he was tearing out some bushes, he found it 35 years later and it's still intact. You can still see that it's Palpatine. And my guess is it's probably worth a little bit of money.
You think?
I think so, because as dirty as it is, it's an original Star Wars action figure.
It might not be
from the
worth
first.
as much as in the packaging, but
Oh,
it
yeah,
might be
no.
worth something, yeah.
I mean, a little bit more than a remake of it.
For real,
You know what I'm saying?
right?
But man, it'd be so cool to find something you didn't even know was missing.
The big thing I want to know is that Scott, the guy who does our news.
Yeah.
He'll tell you he's a self-proclaimed yard nerd. He is in his yard, working on his yard all the time. I have a feeling, Scott, you may have found something in your yard.
Yeah, in fact, recently I was back in the backyard, pulling out some weeds and adding some mulch, and I saw this kind of thing looking at me, and I was a little worried, and I did a little digging and found Lego minifigs, the little minifigure Legos.
Really?
And it turns out, I think I know where it came from.
Where?
My son.
He
He
does
likes to
love
build
Legos.
sets in the backyard on the table there in our area there, where we have the grill and everything. And sometimes those Legos get scattered in the yard, and every once in a while I'll find one or two, in the garden area.
How long do you think it's been there? A week?
Not too long, maybe a month or so.
Okay.
But
Good thing you found it now.
yeah.
Before you stepped on it barefoot.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
Man, I tell you, it's gotten pretty horrible in some places in the Grand Strand when it comes to crime and things like this.
Yeah, pretty dangerous place to be now. Maybe thinking about going there, changing those plans a little bit.
I was just reading last week that Myrtle Beach is one of the unsafest places to go in America. That was just named that. And my heart sank. I'm like, but this is our beach. This is the Carolinas. I don't want us to have that kind of, status across the nation that people won't come, even though 12 million people come anyway during the summer months.
Right. But I think it peaks more during different seasons.
Oh, it does.
So when there's certain groups or events happening in Myrtle Beach, it tends to spike a little more. It goes down. And definitely when tourist season's over, that's when I like to go anyway.
Right? Yeah, that's when it's just really great. It's just us local folk, right? So here's the thing, that the police department's working really, really hard. They installed 1,200 cameras, and they say it's helping like you wouldn't believe. So it's helped solve some cases where people lost their lives and families now have some closure. But they said it's more than just crime. It's like people needing help. Like if there's a seizure that's happening and there's a report, we can immediately see on the camera what's going on, where they are, and that there are some people that are there that are starting to give CPR or whatever the case is. So it's really helped out.
Yeah, of course. Well, especially when you have cameras, people think twice. They're watching.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, somebody's watching. So no longer is it, the Lord is watching you. I mean, the police are too.
Yeah, and they can
So
pull
you
it
think
up
twice.
on their laptops and their phones. So they have access to it no matter where they are.
So you might want to think twice before going a little crazy.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
I don't know if you've ever been without AC during hot summer months like this. Ours went out a couple of years ago when we first moved to our house. It had old units, and we had to call somebody out like really quick. It took them 2 weeks to get out.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, 2 weeks in this kind of heat. There's this one lady in Kansas City that this actually happened to, and she needed an air conditioner, and she paid $5,000 for her new air.
Oh, that's good. She got her air conditioning then and everything's fine.
No,
Oh.
it didn't work. And so she's like calling the people back over and over and over again, and nothing. So she went to the news, and the news did a story on her in Kansas City, and somebody went, I'm going to help out. I'll do whatever it takes to get this lady's air working. So the guy goes out there, figures out that the people who installed it that never came out to fix what they installed, put in a small unit that couldn't even handle the house.
Stop.
Right, yeah.
That's why they're not answering.
$5,000 in the hole. And so what this company did was like, hey, we'll help you. So they were good Samaritans and got it fixed up right and got the right air conditioning unit in there.
Good people
Right.
all around us. That is so wonderful.
I'm glad she's got cool air now. But man, when you're without it in this kind of heat that we've had lately.
It's awful. It is awful trying to stay cool.
I was down in Florida this weekend, and the feel like was 110 to 115 degrees in St. Pete, Tampa Bay, Florida. It was horrendous.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
It's like the most beautiful moment in the whole world to watch your children get baptized. It's so special, and your heart just sinks, and you're just so joyful.
I don't know if you've seen a Catholic baptism with babies, but you know they'll come. It's a whole ritual, and there's the sprinkling of the water on their forehead. There's this one, and you may have seen this already because it's going around all the feeds. And when you scroll, you'll see this one baby. The baby's getting baptized. The baby does what baby does, or babies do, and it moves his hands around, knocks out of the priest's hands what he's reading, and it goes right into the baptismal water.
Oh, so the book got baptized.
The
and
book did.
The baby doesn't even know. Like when you watch this video, the baby's like, ah, boom, like, yay.
Yeah.
He does what babies do. Yay. And the priest just looks at this family like, what just happened?
And the whole, oh no happens.
Yeah. But it's still a beautiful moment, and it's a memory. That family's never going to forget that baptism.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
So let me tell you about Tori. Tori has a bunch of kids, and she was called for jury duty, but she's like, I cannot find a babysitter. You would think, okay, just call anybody who can help out, somebody, church or something like that. She goes, no, you don't understand. I have triplets that are 18 months old and a 5-year-old. The only people that could really handle this are my husband and mom, and they're not available. My husband has to work. My mom is gone.
Yeah,
she can't do this.
You just don't drop that off at a babysitter. Like, bye.
Right? I mean, just think about it. 4 kids, and 3 of them are triplets. That is a chore, and she's like a super mom every day taking care of them. So she's like, okay. She tried to get out of it and reschedule. They said, no, you still have to come. It's a $1,000 fine if you don't show up. So she shows up with her 4 kids, the triplets that are 18 months and the 5-year-old, and they are running all over the place. She's thinking, by golly, they'll reschedule me now. No, 2.5 hours she sat there, and then the judge called her in to question her to see if she would be, right for the trial and to sit on the jury. And they sent the kids out into the hallway where a couple of bailiffs or somebody was there watching them run all over the place.
Did she get called?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay, good.
It doesn't look like she has to serve, but she's like, wow, okay, I don't have to serve, but they didn't send me home with all these kids running around.
Sometimes all you have to do is show up with your chaos.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, yeah.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
So veganism, I guess, it's getting pretty popular. And
yeah.
So fast food restaurants are picking up on it with new spins on their normal food. So you can go to different places like Chipotle, and you can order, down the line, you pick what you want. And so there's plenty of vegan options to fill you up.
I was there yesterday, as a matter of fact. And I got a vegan. I'm not vegan. Sometimes I'll eat like that because I just want to. So I had sofitas. Is that right? So that's like a vegan protein, if anybody knows what that is. And I may have just butchered the name of what that was.
I don't know what that is. My idea of vegan is to take all that off and just eat beans. I don't know.
There you go.
I do. I eat beans a lot, like bean burgers and things like that. I'm not vegan, but I don't like meat. So it helps that beans are big, or the Impossible Burgers at Burger King, making them. Now, they really do taste like beef. So if you don't like beef, you're not gonna like the Impossible Burger.
Yeah,
But if
true
you're
that.
vegan for health reasons, you do have those options now where you can go to Taco Bell and get a vegan burrito or a like a black bean burrito or chalupa, or you can get like the Impossible Burger, things like that. So they're making it so much more available and easy, and even labeling them vegan now so that it's easier to pick and you don't have to go, well, I want this, but hold this and this and this and this and this, but add this. It just
Because
makes it
usually
so much
you have to
easier.
do some hacks to make that happen.
Oh, yeah.
And so more and more places now have it on the menu. Yeah, and I've seen the, what is it, VG? That's on the menu?
Yes. Like a V is vegetarian, the VG is usually vegan.
Okay.
So,
There are differences.
yes, the difference is the animal products.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not vegan, so I don't really like fully grasp it all, but I just prefer black beans, so it helps to know,
Yes.
because when it says vegan, it's usually a bean substance, which
And
is
then
delicious.
a couple of hours later, you avoid heroin at all costs.